Hey ladies, so I had done a phone update a few days ago on Sunday about what was going on. So I wanted to finalize things and let you guys know where I am with cycle and stuff because a little bit has changed since then. So we'll start at the beginning. So let's go through the cycle. I started my cycle on January 2nd and I ovulated on cycle day 20, which I confirmed with temperatures. So ovulated cycle day 20, which was January 21st. I did not test at all during the 2-week wait. I did have some symptoms. So the night of 7 DPO, I was babysitting and I fell asleep babysitting and I woke up with some cramping going on. So I didn't really think too much of it then, but I got home and I went to crawl into bed, and a lot of the times I sleep naked. So I crawled in and the sheet like came across my chest, and my poor husband, I like screamed. It hurt so bad when the sheet hit my nipple. It was so painful. So I kind of was like, oh well, maybe that's a sign. Cool. Well, through Wednesday, yes, through Wednesday, the nipple pain and the cramping continued off and on through the days. And I had a couple other things, but nothing too major. Thursday and Friday was really nothing. Saturday wasn't much of anything. I tested in the morning because my temp was still really high, and it was a negative. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just too early. Maybe I implanted late. That's totally possible. So I dreaded going to the bathroom every time on Saturday. Every time I needed to go to the bathroom, I was just like, nope, don't want to go, don't gotta go, don't. Like I avoided the bathroom like the plague. It was horrible. So avoided the bathroom, and but every time I went, there was nothing on the toilet paper, not a spot, not red, nothing. My cervix was still soft and high. There was no ridge. And a couple people have asked me what I mean when I say the ridge in my cervix. So I don't really have anything. So yeah, I don't really have anything I can like show you. So if this is your cervix, like this shape, it would feel to me right before AF comes, it feels like it comes down like this and then goes like this. So it's just kind of a ridge. I don't know if I can describe that any better. And it kind of, what I assume that is the letdown, the AF letdown, and the blood coming down, or my lining coming down. So I assume that's what that ridge is. I couldn't feel a ridge. I thought I had felt it on Thursday or Friday, but it like went away or wasn't actually there or whatever. Saturday morning I got, let's go back to Saturday night. So Saturday night I was at dinner at my in-laws house with hubby, and he always sneaks some mushrooms before his dad cooks them. So he came to sit down, and I was laying down on the couch, and he was like still standing up, so he was way above me. And I was sitting there, I was like, did you just go eat mushrooms? Because I can smell it and it smells really gross. And he kind of looked at me, he goes, you can never smell it when I eat mushrooms. so what's wrong with you? I was like, okay, well, it smelled really gross. So then we were sitting down at dinner, and it's artichoke season, so he and his mom always have artichoke. I think it's disgusting. So he and his mom were having artichokes, and it just smelled so bad. I had to leave the table when he started taking the leaves off the artichoke, and the smell was just like coming towards me. I was so grossed out. I had to leave the table. So then I was like, oh, maybe that's a really good sign. Maybe on Sunday morning I'll get a positive. So Sunday morning comes, and before we left for dinner on Saturday night, I looked at the pregnancy test again, and there was an evap line. It was pink. It was definitely an evap line because it was like 12 hours later. But it was pink, and I was just like, okay, that's a little bit weird. So Sunday morning comes, no AF. My temp is still high. No sign of AF. So I tested again. It was negative. An hour and a half later, I looked, and there was an evap line coming up, and it was pink. So then I was really starting to think that something was up, because even if you get an evap line, it's like really rare to get 2 evap lines from the same box in the same couple days, whatever. So it's just like, okay, whatever. I call it, I feel pregnant. I feel like I've known I'm pregnant. These evap lines keep coming up. My temp is still high. I'm late by 2 days, etc. So, okay, so I just was like, you know what? I'm calling it. I'm pregnant. Posted on Facebook, and then, on my TTC Facebook. Posted it on my TTC Facebook, and then was just having kind of a good day. I was like relaxed and kind of excited, and just hoping that Monday would bring a BFP, or go into the doctor and get blood results, that kind of thing. At 2:40, I went in to go to the bathroom, and I had been laying down for a couple minutes, and I went in, and there was blood on my underwear. It was mostly brown, and no, I'm sorry, I'm totally doing this backwards. So 2:40, I went to go to the bathroom. There was still nothing. I decided for shits and giggles to take another home pregnancy test, and it was a light positive. I have thrown it away. I can try and find the picture on my phone and see if I can show it to you guys. But it was a light positive. I was kind of excited. Trying to find that picture for you. I was kind of excited. Okay, let's see if you can even see this. I don't know that you'll be able to see this. Whoa, trippy. Okay, so you can see that, or you should be able to see that. So that was the positive. It was light, but it was there. So I was all excited. Then I went to lay down for a few minutes, and my husband was like, okay, we got to go. And I had to pee again. So it's like, well, let me get to the bathroom, and we'll go. Went to go to the bathroom, and there was blood on my underwear. It was brown. And then when I sat down, 2 big clots fell out into the toilet, and then like 3 or 4 small ones did. And I started bleeding. So, of course, I posted all this to Facebook. And I didn't tell my husband at that point. He has decided, so don't get on me about not telling my husband in the first place, but he has decided that he wants to know after I get a first positive blood test, unless I miscarry, at which point then he would like to know. So I didn't want to tell him right before we went to a Super Bowl party with a bunch of his friends, though, because that would just be kind of shitty. So we went to the Super Bowl party. I uploaded that video. And then on our way home, I told him. I emailed my doctor to see if she would order an RPL panel for me, which is the repeated pregnancy loss or recurrent pregnancy loss panel. And then on Monday, I was still bleeding. My temp was still a little bit high. I figured maybe I was just getting sick or whatever. But I called advice nurse because my husband really wanted me to call advice nurse. And they said, we want you to come in. Your doctor will want to see you. Said, okay. So I went in yesterday, and before work, I went in to get a blood HCG at the lab that I went to on Saturday to get a blood test. The blood test they did on Saturday was qualitative, not quantitative, so it didn't show the numbers, which they were supposed to do quantitative so that you could see the numbers in the blood. But they screwed up. So Monday I went in and did a quantitative blood test with them. It came back at 11. At 3 o'clock, I went in to see my doctor. She had set up like an ultrasound appointment and wanted to do blood work. We didn't end up doing the ultrasound because I would only be 4 weeks and 2 days yesterday. And she just doesn't really do ultrasounds early because I can't really see anything. So where are we? Sorry, it's been a very long few days and I'm really emotionally drained. I'm trying not to get too emotional about it at this point. I'm holding it together pretty well, but my holding it together pretty well is kind of starting to crack, and I'm trying to get all the details for you guys. I am handling it pretty well. I'm pretty proud of myself with how I'm handling everything. But last night there was about an hour long that I, honest to goodness, like 100% not even close to lying to you, thought about having cookies and cookie dough for dinner. Like that was my thought process for an hour. I sat in my car for an hour contemplating having cookies for dinner. And then when I did come inside, I really, it's gonna sound so stupid. I really like drinking things out of wine glasses. I don't know why, I just always have. It's stupid, it makes no difference, but I just like water and stuff out of wine glass. So I went and got a wine glass, got some water, went outside to take the dog out to pee, and I got so mad that I put the dog inside. Thank goodness I put the dog inside first, but I put the dog inside and I took my glass and I threw it against the ground just to see it break. It was stupid. It doesn't make any difference, but whatever. Anyway, so set up this appointment. It was supposed to be an ultrasound. She doesn't do ultrasounds that early because you can't really see anything. By the time everything was done, we talked about the RPL panel. She's willing to order it for me. She wants me to check into the cost first and see whether we are willing to pay that because it is not covered by my insurance. It is considered infertility, which my insurance does not cover. So she will order it for me, and she can order it for me, which is kind of the more important thing at this point, because a lot of the infertility stuff she can't order and she can't do. Like she can't even do Clomid. So I'm so sorry this video is getting so long and I keep getting sidetracked. Anyway, so she's willing to and can order that panel for me, but she wanted me to go and talk to my husband about the cost of it. So talked to him and she had me go and do a blood HCG level. Because we talked about like low progesterone, and if the problem is low progesterone, then there's at this point there's nothing we can do about it. It's too late, and like there's not really a whole lot they can do this early on to save a pregnancy. So didn't do an ultrasound, went down to the lab. By the time I got down to the lab, it was like 4:30. did my blood draw, and went home, took the kids home. I went to work yesterday because there was really no reason to. I wasn't in a lot of pain or anything. So did that. I hoped that she had put a stat order on it so that wait, I'm so sorry. Hoped she put a stat order on it so that it would be done by the end of the day. She hadn't. So at like 1 o'clock today, I finally got an email saying that I had a message from my doctor and the test was negative. She didn't say it was 0. I've been saying that it was 0 all day, but she just said it was negative, which for blood results, she had told me that they want a 15 to 20 for a positive, so I'm just assuming it was a 0. I didn't actually ask. But either way, it was negative, so I'm assuming it was a 0. And I was like, you know, is it possible for it to go from 11 to 0? And she's like, you know, really early on, the higher your number, the slower it goes down. And really early on, it can drop drastic numbers. And, you know, maybe their test was a little bit, I don't know, different, whatever. So essentially, even if I was pregnant, I am definitely no longer pregnant. The bleeding has stopped today. I haven't had like any bleeding at all, not even spotting. I think I spotted a little teeny tiny bit. Still no pain. My temp is down. She does want me to temp. And she does want me to she wants me to start ovulation testing again. So we're at this point now where we're thinking about what happens next. And I will start another video for that because this one's just getting so long. But that is all that happened. That's where we're at. It is over. I am on cycle day 3. And we'll see. So from now on, God, I'm going to be so paranoid. From now on, I am not going to test for pregnancy probably until 16 to 18 DPO. And I will take a couple of tests and want to see the lines get darker before I go in for a blood test to confirm. I will still know all my dates for everything, so I will know exactly how far along I am and all that kind of thing. But I feel like I'm the equivalent of a pregnancy version of a hypochondriac. Like every time I go to see my doctor, I feel like it's because I'm wanting another test or like losing a baby, or you know, I feel like every time she sees me, it's like I'm demanding another test or whatever, so of some sort. So I feel really like crazy, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. So I will make another video tonight, I guess, since I'm really not doing much of anything, about what comes next and our new approach. I will talk to you ladies later, and I hope you're all doing well.